Hello everyone, welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest updates across South Sudan and beyond. Today we bring you a very serious and emotional report from South Sudan. In this special report, we will talk about a deadly attack in Abiemnam that left many people dead. Second, we'll talk about an ambush on a United Nations convoy in Jonglei. And third, we'll talk about the arrest of former top government official. And finally, we'll talk about what all this means for the future of South Sudan. Before we proceed, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification channel. So whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified if you are new to Changfied YouTube channel. Let's begin our report with deadly attack in Ruweng. On Sunday morning, violence broke out in Abiemnam County, located in the Ruweng administrative area. Army youths attacked the area. According to the report, at least 169 people were killed in that attack. Earlier report had said 120 people died, but local officials later confirmed the number was higher. Because the number of bodies was so large, the victims were buried together in a massive grave on the same day. This is heartbreaking. Families lost father, mothers, children, and neighbors. Some of the injured were taken to a hospital run by Medicine Sans Frontier in Abyei. According to the report, doctors and nurses work hard to treat wounded survivors. But when violence happens suddenly like this, hospitals quickly become overwhelmed. Imagine being injured and running for safety at the same time. According to James Moinluak Mijok, the information minister of Ruweng administrative, according to him, he stated that the attackers forced many residents to flee their home. Families ran in different directions. Some went to Abyei, some went to part of Warab state, some went to nearby villages, others went to bush areas, and the United Nations base in Abiemnam also report around 1,000 families fled there. Others thought protection at the base run by the United Nations mission in South Sudan. Many people spend the night outside, no shelter, no food, no clean water. Children sleep on the ground. This is the reality many civilians are facing in South Sudan. Ruweng authorities are now calling on South Sudan's Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management to act quickly. They are asking for emergency food supplies, medical support, shelter materials. They are asking for clean water and protection for civilians. Officials say the situation is very serious. Some residents have slowly started to return home, but many are still displaced. Right now, the exact number of displaced people is not clear. The Ruweng leadership is also asking the national government to investigate what happened. They specifically mention officials from Unity State, including the governor and the commissioner of Mayom County. They are demanding answers. Why did this happen? Why were civilians not protected? And these are important questions. Let's look at the bigger concern. This attack is not just about one county. It shows that tension between communities remain high in South Sudan. If leaders do not act quickly, a small conflict can grow into something much worse. And ordinary citizens suffer the most. Let's move on to our second top story. United Nations convoy ambushed in Jonglei State. This is also another reality or what is happening in South Sudan. Let us move to another disturbing development. On the same day, army men attacked a United Nations convoy. The attack took place along the border between Jonglei State and the Greater Pibor Administrative Area. The convoy belonged to the United Nations mission in South Sudan, also known as UNMISS. The team was traveling from Akobo to Greater Pibor Administrative Area. According to the report, they were engineers escorted by peacekeeping soldiers. Their mission was luckily related to infrastructure or protection work. According to the information, the convoy was stopped at an illegal roadblock on the way. Then army men opened fire. Peacekeepers returned fire in self-defense. Fortunately, no United Nations personnel were injured, but this incident is very serious. Let's look at the United Nations response. The acting head of UNMISS, Anita Kiki, strongly condemned the attack. She said attacks on peacekeepers are unacceptable. In this report, she called for a quick investigation, a fair and independent process, and accountability for those responsible. The United Nations also reminded the public that attacking peacekeepers can be considered a war crime under international law. So far, no group has claimed responsibility. What does this mean? When peacekeepers are attacked, it sends a dangerous message. Peacekeepers are in South Sudan to protect civilians, support peace, and help stabilize communities. If they are targeted, it makes peace effort more difficult. It also shows how unstable some areas remain. Let's move on now to political and governance in Juba. A major development happened in Juba. Former tax chief detained. According to the report, a senior figure in South Sudan government under President Salva Kiir Mayardit, Simon Akwedeng, the former head of the South Sudan Revenue Authority, has been detained in Juba. He returned to Juba voluntarily and he handed himself over to the National Security Service. Authorities said he is being questioned over financial misconduct and problem in the monetary system. Almost just everything is about corruption. So far, officials have not announced formal charges. Let's look at the family statement. Is family. A family member said he returned in good faith. They say he had no intention of running away because some of these senior government officials tried to escape. They said he had no intention of running away. The family asked the public to remain calm and avoid spreading rumors. They also say they trust the legal process. Simon Akwedeng is not alone in this. He was not arrested alone. In recent days, several high-level officials have been detained in Juba. In this report, among those who are detained or arrested by President Salva Kiir Mayardit, Dr. Bagbar Nabachol, a former finance minister, was arrested. Moses Makudeng is a former central bank governor, is also arrested. Marial Dongrin Ater is also another former finance minister. He is also arrested. Deng Lualwul from the Minister of Petroleum, and Manasseh Macharbul, a senior security official. All these senior government officials are also in custody right now in Juba. This looks like a wide crackdown when you look at it. Some observers support fighting corruption in South Sudan. Others are concerned. A civil society activist, Edmund Yakani, said investigation must follow proper legal procedures. And he wanted that anti-corruption effort should not be used for political reasons. South Sudan is expected to hold national election in December 2026, but preparations are still incomplete. Many people are asking, is this about justice or is this about politics? Time will tell. Let's look at the background on Simon Akwedeng. Simon Akwedeng, who is now arrested or detained in Juba, was appointed in November 2024. He was tasked with reforming the tax system. He promoted digital system to reduce cash handling and limited bribery. Simon Akwe was removed from his position in November 2025. His career was closely connected to businessman Dr. Benjamin Bullmel. Bullmel was once considered powerful and close to President Salva Kiir Mayardit. But he was removed from office in late 2025 and later placed under house arrest. Observers believe internal political struggle may be involved. Simon Akwe previously worked with companies linked to Bullmel. These are companies were involved in the oil for road program. Under the system, oil exports were used to fund infrastructure projects like the Juba-Bur Highway. Supporters say these projects have development. Critics question transparency and accountability. Here is one of the questions. Is South Sudan at risk? When we look at this event together, we see a worrying pattern. Daily local violence, attack on peacekeepers, high-level arrests in Juba, political tension before election, humanitarian crisis growing. South Sudan already faced food shortages, economic challenges, displacement, and delayed political transition. If leaders do not handle these issues carefully, the country could face deeper instability. Many international observers warn that without real dialogue and reform, tension could increase. If you are new to Changfied YouTube channel, please, I would like you to Changfied channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell. So whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's meet on the next report. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.